Beyond the Gate spoilers tease that Ashley Morgan and Andre Richardson officially start dating. Their relationship remains hush-hush, but Derek Baldwin unexpectedly becomes witness to it. It's apparent they're together in the intimate privacy of Ashley's house, holding each other in the darkness, whispering promises as a real couple. Derek, lurking in the hallway, freezes when he hears their laughter merging, the rustle of sheets beneath them. In that instant, he realizes they are no longer just friends, theory lovers. Later that evening, Derek finds himself at a dimly lit bar on the edge of town. It's the kind of place people go to drown worry or kill silence. He's nursing a beer when Dani slides into the booth across from him. She's cheerful and oh so confident, exactly the kind of person who could coax secrets from a closed book. She sees Derek flinch at her voice and smiles, her brows lifting in invitation. "You look like you've got burdens," she says softly. He recognizes that tone, like when you don't want to talk, but something inside says you must. So he nods, gesturing at the beer. "Could use a friend," he admits under his breath. Dani leans forward. Derek knows he's about to share the liquor, loosens the lips. Her curiosity pries them open. He starts talking, his voice low. "I've always wanted to be like my friend Andre," so assured, so normal. He glances around, as if anticipating she'll judge. "He just got together with Ashley. They're serious." At this, Dani perks up. He continues, "I saw the flames in the dark, shadows and laughter." He's happy. "I wanted that too." Dani listens, smiling as though the water's turning into gold. She asks questions, small ones that tease more details. Where, how long, what Ashley said. He's honest, fumbling even, in her room. "They were close, so close I could see his cheek against her shoulder. They were happy. And then, he's the best guy I know." What Derek doesn't know, and Dani slowly pieces together, is that he's inadvertently exposed more than he intended. Because at this very moment, unbeknownst to him, Andre has also been seeing Dani in secret. Dani's glee at listening is obvious, but Derek doesn't detect anything off. So he pours out his jealousy and admiration alike, painting Andre as perfect. Dani laughs, hooks her arm through Derek's, and offers to walk him out. They spill onto the sidewalk, night air sharp against the low buzz of streetlights. She thanks him. He looks at her, tired but lighter. "Thanks," he says, meaning it. Days pass. Derek tries not to linger on what he's learned, yet every time he thinks of Ashley and Andre, jealousy twists him. He starts avoiding them. He doesn't return texts. He ghosts while casually dismissive. Ashley notices, sends him messages. Andre checks in. He shrugs them off. He tries focusing on school, his future. But sleep becomes difficult when he thinks of them, arms entwined in secret. His jealousy has turned bitter. Dani watches from the corner. She seems pleased by Derek's distance. They no longer cross paths much, except in that bar where she's always first in line for him to talk. Her intuition tells her Andre is more than friends with Ashley, but the turn of events Derek shared had a twist she never anticipated. She's in love with Andre. She never expected him to commit publicly to someone. And now, torn by Derek's infatuated admiration for Andre, she sees astride Ashley. She senses betrayal. Deep down, she hoped his relationship with Ashley was superficial, a summer thing. But if it's real, if he's happy with her, then Dani's been played. For the moment, though, Dani keeps quiet. She lets Derek rant about Andre's perfection in Ashley's arms. He gushes. She nods. Inside, she burns. The plot thickens as 3 lives overlap and fray around Andre's secret. Ashley believes she's in a private love affair with Andre. But unbeknownst to her, his heart is divided, has been seeing Dani late at night. He tells each that the other doesn't exist, gaslights them both with half-truths. He texts Dani sweet goodnights. He kisses Ashley good mornings. He balances guilt and thrill every day. He is himself intoxicated by deception. At school, Ashley and Andre hold hands in the hall, quiet, clandestine. She blushes, relieved that someone out there is hers. Andre squeezes her fingers, basks in this new power. He's a good actor, splitting nights between Dani's apartment and Ashley's house. He's loving on cue in both places. It's exhausting, but he's convinced he's doing better than either could without him. When he wakes in Dani's arms, smiles at her in the morning, he tells himself she completes a part of him Ashley doesn't. When he holds Ashley in the dark, he whispers the other name of Dani in his head. Meanwhile, Derek's perception begins to shift. He starts wondering, did Dani spot jealousy? Did Andre spot her texting during the bar talk? He starts spinning conspiracy threads. Did Andre tell Dani something? Or did Andre tell Ashley about Dani? He recalibrates. Maybe he's the only innocent. That conspiracy isolates him further. He stops going to that bar. Dani tries reaching him. He shrugs her off too. No one's close anymore. One afternoon, Ashley stands in the courtyard, worried Andre's late. She tries his phone, no answer. Her worry is casual at first, but at night, she trips over something. A message pops up on Andre's phone while he's rebuilding his chemistry set in the garage for his next experiment. The screen lights up with a message from Dani, a good morning, darling. It tilts Ashley's stomach. That night, in her bed, she stares at the ceiling, reading all Andre's reassurances in her head. Did he lie to her too? Was Dani somebody he had before? Did he kiss her while thinking of Ashley? She can't sleep. Cold tears soak her pillow. She decides, tomorrow she'll ask. No games anymore. The next day, in Andre's classroom where they have study hall, Ashley corners him, breath quick. Who's Dani? She asks before class. Andre's smile falters. He stammers, she's a friend. But the word friend sounds hollow. Ashley holds up his phone. They were reading her name. Don't lie. Her voice is soft, but shaking. Andre swallows. Okay, yes. He explains, she's someone I cared about. But we're not dating. Ashley's nodding, eyes dark. He told me he's not seeing anyone, she remembers telling Derek. She says nothing. Later that day, Derek returns to that same bar. The lights blur. He runs into Dani. She isn't hiding, there's something in her eyes, disappointment, pain. He sits across from her, confused. She asks quietly, did you tell him? He frowns. What? Derek asks. About us, he says. Dani shrugs. I thought maybe you told him about me and Andre. Derek shakes his head. No, I didn't. She expects relief, but he's lying. He didn't tell. He can't tell. He just spoke about Andre and Ashley. But now he's lost track of truth. He sees Dani's broken expression and regrets every word. He wants to take them back yet knows he can't. They linger in a tense silence as neon lights flicker. Meanwhile, Ashley pauses in the hallway, her stomach twisted. She runs into Andre after school. He's tense, he's tired. She grabs his wrist. Tell me everything, she says. He sighs, looks at her like he's been caught in a spotlight he can't escape. I told you, he says. I didn't date Dani. I told her we were through. She doesn't speak, her heart pounding. Did you lie? She asks. He doesn't answer. His silence screams betrayal louder than any refusal. She pulls back, her hand falls from his wrist. I need time. Dani, meanwhile, has retreated to her apartment. She texts Andre, we need to talk. He arrives late, shirt untucked, guilt trailing behind him like a stain. She stares at him, waiting. The walls echo. They were happy once. Now the word means nothing. She asks, Ashley. He shifts. She knows. Dani's face remains blank. And you didn't tell me. His eyes close. I thought I could handle both. She steps closer. Could you? She asks. He shrugs. I'm sorry. It rings hollow. She crosses her arms. That's not enough. Derek, wandering empty streets, receives a text from Andre. We need to talk about this. Could you meet? Derek deletes it. He's done with talking. He needs air, light a cigarette, resolve to cut ties. He thinks of Andre's touch with Ashley and his night whispers with Dani. He's unmoored, drowning in a sea of deception. So he decides, no more. He deletes Andre's number. But things are far from over. Because secrets breed, they grow until they burst. Derek, broken by the knowledge, stumbling over loyalty and regret, knows he holds the key to the truth. Ashley, betrayed and bleeding inside, wonders where the real Andre is. Dani, furious and wounded, can't forgive or forget. And Andre, the center of the storm, remains torn, unashamed in some places, ashamed in others. Each one stands on a precipice, looking down at the wreckage of half-truths. The pieces are set, the collision is coming. This is where their story begins. Ashley walked home alone that night, her boots scraping the wet pavement as her mind spiraled. Every word Andre had spoken now echoed with distortion. Was anything ever real? She replayed memories with him, each kiss now tainted, each text message suspicious. But what cut deepest was the possibility that she'd been the one interrupting something sacred between him and Dani. She never knew there was another woman, never thought she was the other woman. The next morning she stayed in bed, ignoring her phone. Andre called, texted, tried to stop by. She didn't answer. She wasn't ready. There were too many layers to peel back, too many lies to confront. She needed space not just from him, but from the entire web they'd all been caught in. Meanwhile, Dani wasn't quiet anymore. She was calculating. Hurt transformed into a slow, deliberate fury. She'd been lied to, discarded like an afterthought. But what stung even more was Ashley's innocence, how perfect she looked in those hallways, how unaware she was of the chaos unfolding beneath her. Dani couldn't forgive Andre. But she couldn't let Ashley walk away clean either, even if she wasn't to blame. It was unfair, and Dani knew it, but pain rarely plays fair. She started with whispers. Casual comments in passing to classmates about Ashley and Andre, just enough to spark curiosity. At first it was subtle. Dani accidentally let it slip that Ashley was dating someone. Then she alluded to a love triangle. The halls buzzed with half-truths, and Ashley began to feel it. Eyes lingered. People whispered just out of earshot. It wasn't long before rumors bloomed into accusations. And Ashley, who had always avoided drama, now walked through it. Andre tried to do damage control, but it was no use. Dani had set it in motion and wasn't stopping. She posted a photo, nothing explicit, but enough, a late-night selfie of her and Andre from weeks ago, with the caption, "Used to mean something." No names. But everyone knew. The likes rolled in. The comments started. Ashley saw it while waiting for her next class, and the screen slipped from her hands. Her heart dropped. It wasn't just betrayal now. It was humiliation. Derek heard about the post almost immediately. He saw it on someone else's phone, his stomach tightening. He wanted no part in it, been the one to set the dominoes falling, and guilt gnawed at him daily. He hadn't meant to cause this, and yet here they were. He started avoiding every Nino bar, no texts, no hallway interactions. He even skipped class. But one evening, Ashley showed up at his door. Pale. Tired. But not angry. "I know you told Dani," she said. He didn't deny it. He opened the door wider and stepped aside. She sat down on his couch, hands shaking slightly. "I thought I knew him," she said. "But I didn't know either of them." Derek nodded, unsure of what to say. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," he admitted. Ashley looked at him, eyes hollow. "It's not your fault. He lied to all of us." Outside, thunder rolled in the distance. Summer was ending, but things hadn't cooled down. If anything, the heat of it all had turned everyone raw. Dani's plan hadn't stopped with a single post. She began sending messages directly to Ashley, cryptic, laced with just enough venom to cut deep. One read, "You were never first. Just a stop along the way." Another, "He said the same things to me." Ashley didn't reply. She stared at each message like a mirror, wondering which part of it reflected her own stupidity. But she was done crying. Done waiting for explanations. Done letting someone else drive the story. That weekend, she showed up at Andre's apartment. He opened the door looking exhausted. His hair messy, shirt wrinkled. He looked like someone who hadn't slept. "You said you loved me," Ashley said. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. "I do," he replied, quietly. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't think it would get this far. You didn't think, she snapped. That's the only honest thing you've said. She stepped forward, her eyes locked onto his. You played us both. You made me feel special while you were already tangled up with someone else. Do you even know what you want? I didn't choose either of you, he said, defeated. I kept both because I didn't want to lose either. You already lost both, she whispered. Then she turned and walked away, not once looking back. Dani watched the fallout unfold from a distance. She saw the broken pieces scatter and realized something odd. None of it made her feel better. Andre was alone now. Ashley was broken but surviving. And Dani, the supposed victor of this emotional war, felt hollow. Revenge had cost her everything. The victory was ash in her mouth. She deleted the photos. She stopped the whispers. She pulled back from the chaos she'd unleashed. But by then, it was too late. Reputations had changed. Trust had dissolved. People had taken sides and she wasn't sure if she had any allies left. Derek eventually met Dani again, this time, not at the bar, but in a neutral space, the library. Quiet, neutral ground. She looked different. Smaller somehow. You okay? He asked. She shrugged. Depends what you mean by okay. He sat beside her, unsure of what came next. I thought hurting them would make me feel powerful, she confessed. But it just made me feel like him. Derek was silent. Then, softly, you were hurt. You lashed out. No excuse, she replied. They didn't talk much after that. But they didn't need to. Some connections are silent, built on shared mistakes. As the weeks passed, Andre began to fade into the background. People didn't forget, but they stopped caring. He kept to himself, guilt weighing on his shoulders. He stopped chasing either girl. Stopped defending himself. He had lied. There was no defense for it. Ashley, on the other hand, started to rebuild. She cut her hair. Applied for summer internships. Found new friends outside the circle of whispers. She never spoke to Dani again, not out of hate, but out of necessity. Some burns run too deep for friendship to survive. Dani focused on graduating. She started therapy quietly. Told no one. But she kept going week after week. She didn't want to be the girl who used to be with him. She wanted to be more. Derek eventually found peace in distance. He moved away for a job, sent a single group text to Andre, Dani, and Ashley. No hard feelings. Wishing you all peace. No replies came. That was fine. Sometimes closure doesn't come in replies, it comes in silence. And somewhere in the middle of it all, the lesson settled in: love isn't enough when it's built on lies. Secrets don't stay buried. And sometimes, the people you trust most are the ones who leave the deepest scars. What started as secret romance unraveled into chaos, heartbreak, and painful self-discovery. They each paid a price for their roles, and none walked away unscathed. But they did walk away. Changed. Hardened. A little wiser. And maybe that was enough. Months passed. The dust had settled, but the aftershocks remained. Fall arrived, casting long shadows across the campus. Leaves crunched beneath footsteps that now carried different rhythms, more cautious, more solitary. The names Ashley, Andre, Dani, and Derek still surfaced in conversation, but only in hushed tones, as if the drama they ignited had been too potent to resurrect fully. Ashley had changed the most. She no longer floated through hallways with soft smiles and trusting eyes. There was a quiet edge to her now, measured glances, a new intuition for reading people's intentions. The warmth she once offered freely was now reserved. Her world had cracked, and from those fractures, something stronger emerged. She focused on school, on herself. She stopped looking over her shoulder. Trust would take time. But she was getting there, one unreturned message from Andre at a time. Andre's life, however, had shrunk. The charisma that once gave him gravity had eroded. He stopped going to parties. His friend group thinned. His confidence withered. Every hallway he walked down reminded him of someone he lied to. Every quiet glance from a peer hinted at judgment. His charm had become his curse. Without someone to reflect his better side, He was forced to face his worst. At night, he lay awake and replayed every decision. He never reached out to Dani again. And he only tried once more with Ashley an email she never answered. Dani had taken a different route. While Ashley rebuilt quietly, Dani confronted her shame head-on. Therapy helped. Journaling helped. But mostly, stepping away from the chaos saved her. She took a semester abroad. Cut off social media. She didn't erase the past, but she stopped letting it define her. For once, she wasn't reacting, she was choosing. Her time in Europe became a buffer, a chance to remember who she was before heartbreak weaponized her. She didn't forgive Andre, but she stopped needing revenge. And in letting go of the narrative that she was the victim or the villain, she began healing. Derek, always the peripheral player, had left behind more than a campus. His move gave him space to reevaluate his role in what happened. He'd seen things he shouldn't have, said things he shouldn't have, but he also grew from it. In his quiet apartment 2 states away, he found clarity in the distance. The mess they all created taught him something fundamental. Truth, when mishandled, is just another form of betrayal. Near the end of the year, a chance encounter happened. Ashley was attending a student art exhibit in a downtown gallery, something small, obscure. A friend had invited her. She almost didn't go. But that night, the sky was clear and the air brisk in a way that made her feel ready for something new. She wandered past canvases, sipping cheap wine, letting the music fade in and out. And then there he was. Andre. Across the room. Alone. He looked older somehow. Not tired, just quieter. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time froze, not in the cinematic way, but in that awkward, real way where both people are silently deciding whether to acknowledge the past or pretend it never existed. Ashley didn't flinch. She walked over. Not to reopen wounds. Not to scold. Just to finish the conversation that never truly ended. "Hi," she said. "Hey," he replied, surprised but composed. "You good?" she asked. It wasn't a loaded question. Not anymore. He nodded. "Yeah. Better. You?" She smiled faintly. "Getting there." There was a pause. Not uncomfortable. Just full. Andre looked around, then back at her. "You always liked these kinds of things," he said, gesturing to the artwork. She shrugged. "Still do. Just different reasons now." Another pause. This time it felt final. "I'm sorry," he said. She didn't say it was okay. Because it wasn't. But she nodded. "Thank you." And that was all they needed. No dramatic closure. No begging. Just 2 people acknowledging what happened and letting it go. As Ashley walked away, she didn't feel triumphant. She felt free. A week later, she got a letter from Dani. Not a message. A real letter. Handwritten. Postmarked from France. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't a plea. It was a story of mistakes, of lessons, of a girl who once loved a boy too much and hated another girl too quickly. Dani didn't ask for forgiveness. She just told the truth. Raw. Honest. And in the margins, she'd written, "If we ever meet again, I hope we're both different people." Ashley read it twice. Then she tucked it in her journal. And somehow, that final piece clicked into place. Life kept moving. Ashley got into a competitive internship that summer. Dani extended her stay abroad and started submitting short fiction pieces under a pseudonym. Derek found someone new, someone honest, uncomplicated. And Andre started volunteering quietly, behind the scenes, like he was trying to build something no one could take from him. They all went different directions. No big scenes. No climactic confrontations. Just growth. Change. The kind that happens after the storm passes and you realize you're still standing. They were no longer the same people who began this story. And maybe that was the best ending they could have asked for.